by individual bit.
Yes. Yes, what is the answer? Somebody told.
Bits, ma'am.
Repeat. Okay, Ashish. So it is represented in the form of bits, zeros and ones. Okay. What are the other responsibility of physical layer we have discussed? So physical layer means it is directly contacting with the transmission media. Okay. What type of transmission media you're going to use? What type of transmission media is connected? So everything it is defined at the physical layer. And its interface, the characteristics of interface. So interface means the from your device to the transmission media. It requires an interface. So what type of interface it is going to use, and the complete information whatever it is going to send from physical layer to the transmission media, it is going to convert into bits. Okay. And data rate, at what speed it is going to send the data. See, these are all the characteristics. It is defined by the physical layer. Okay, it is responsibility of physical layer to take care of all these important uh, functionalities. Synchronization of bits, then line configuration. Okay, so line configuration, is it a point-to-point or multi-point? Physical topology, what type of topology they have used. Then transmission mode, is it simplex or half duplex, full duplex? So all these characteristics should be defined at the physical layer. Okay, so these are the main responsibility. So even I have shown one diagram. So this is how data. Let me share full screen. Okay. Is it my screen is visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can just observe whatever the data that comes. Here I'm just focusing only at the physical layer, what is happening. Okay. So whatever the data that comes to the physical layer, it is received from the data link layer. So for the data, so physical layer is going to add the header information. Then it will convert the data, because in the data link layer the data is represented in the form of frames. So now before sending, it is going to represent that frame into binary numbers or bits. So now ultimately these bits should be converted into electrical signals. Okay. So after converting into electrical signals, it is transmitted through the transmission media. So once again in transmission media, there are different characteristics should be set by the physical layer. That is what rate it is going to send the data, that is data rate. What is the synchronization mechanism used, what type of line configuration. So everything it should be defined at the physical layer. Okay. And it is going through the transmission media and it reaches. So this part we are going to discuss. Maybe in the next chapter, we'll be focusing on completely about the transmission media. Okay, so how the data is converted into electrical signals. Once again, what are the different types of electrical signals? So we are going to discuss in detail. So this part, you can just see here, there is some representation of signals in the form of digital. So it is discrete, either it will be 0 or 1. 0 or 1. So another way is we go for analog representation. So these two methods we are going to discuss in detail later. So next we'll move on to data link layer. Okay, so we'll move on to data link layer. So in data link layer, what is the main responsibility of data link layer is representation of data in the form of frames. Okay, representation of data in the form of frames. Okay, whatever the data that comes from the network layer, so that should be converted into frames. So here, what is another important responsibility of data link layer is hop to hop delivery. Okay, hop to hop delivery of data. That means node to node. Okay, so from source node, it is going through the network and it may reach the router. Okay, whatever the data that comes from source node to the router, any network element. So that is called as hop to hop delivery of data. Okay, so node to node transmission of data, it is taken care by the data link layer. So here the link can be anything, it can be a wired or wireless. Okay, so here whatever the data that gets from the network layer, so this is it is hierarchical structure. So I told about the physical layer. Okay, physical layer is over. So next we are focusing on data link layer. So to data link layer, from where the data is coming, the data is coming from network layer. Okay, so the network layer, how the data are represented, it is represented in the form of packets. Okay, it is represented in the form of packets. So now those packets are, each packet is received, and data link layer, it is going to take the data from the received from the network layer. It is going to add the header part. Okay, header part and also trailer part, and each of this header part and trailer part, it is having some responsibility to perform particular action. Okay, it will add the header at the front of the data and trailer part at the other end of the data, and whatever the data it is generated, it is in the form of frame. Okay, so this complete information we call it as frame. Okay, now this frame is transferred to the physical layer. Okay, once it comes at the receiver side from physical layer, it will extract the data and that will be delivered. Before delivering to the network layer, it will check it, what is the header part. Okay, to it is having the address. Okay, so that address is removed and it is delivered to the network layer. And also before delivering, so what is this T2 stands for? It is trailer information. So this is mainly used for this is nothing but just some extra bits are added. So extra bits are added to the data. Consider 110 is added to the data. So for what purpose? How they have identified it is 110? So this is mainly used for error detection and correction. Okay, so this T2 part, it is mainly used, it is added only at the data link layer. Okay, you can just observe, it is added, it is only at the data link layer. In remaining all head layers, it is going to add only the header part. But in case of data link layer, T2 trailer information is there, and that is used for error correcting and error detecting and correction. Okay, so once it receives at the receiver side, so it is going to check, it will make use of that extra bits to verify that whatever the data is received is having any error or not. Okay, so there are different algorithms or protocols for this. We are going to discuss those protocols. Okay, there are some algorithms or protocols, it is going to detect the error and also correct the error, and some protocols it will just detect the error. So using these extra bits, once it is done and if it is identified that no error in the received data, then that data will be, it will just remove this header information and trailer information. The data alone is transferred to the network layer. Okay, so this is how the data is moved from data link layer to the physical layer, and this is called as hop to hop delivery. Okay, node to node delivery. Data link layer is responsible for moving the data from one hop. Hop means so from one node to the another node. Either it can be the system or it can be a router, anything. Okay, we call it as one hop. So the connection between this end system and the intermediate system. So it is referred as hop, one hop, hop to hop delivery. So like that, how many intermediate systems are connected in the network, the data is traveled through that. Okay, and each time delivering of data from that particular node to the another node, it is the responsibility of the data link layer. Okay. Okay, so this is done. till it reaches the destination. So hop-to-hop delivery is the one of the important functionality of the data link layer. Okay, what are the other functionality of data link layer is? So it is TCP/IP model. It is not defined any new specific protocol for data link layer. Whatever the protocol defined in OSI model, the same thing it is followed. So DLL supports. So DLL stands for data link layer. Supports all standard and proprietary protocols. Okay, whatever the standard protocols are defined for that particular layer, it is supported in TCP/IP. Then each protocol may provide different services. When I use a term, okay, protocol, it is nothing but it is one type of service it is provided by that particular algorithm or whatever the concept you are going to learn. Okay, protocol means it is designed for providing a particular service. Okay, so if there are 10 protocols in data link layer, so all the protocols are having different services to be provided. Okay, some protocol provide complete error detection. Example, okay, so there are some algorithms that is going to perform complete error detection and also correction. I told, so there are some protocols it will just perform the error correction. Okay, actually it should be error detection. Without detecting the error, correction is not possible. Okay, so this you need to just make it as a detection. So these are the main responsibility of the data link layer. And also access control, so that I have not had added here. So it is responsible for access control also, that is accessing the channel. So if you want to access if the device want to send the data, it requests to access the channel. Channel means that is a link that carries the data. So accessing that channel, because multiple devices want to send the data at the same time. Okay, which device should be allowed to access the channel? Okay, when there are many number of systems are connected to the network. Okay, so which device should be allowed to access the channel? Okay, so which device should be allowed to access the data? So for that, once again, there are set of protocols. So access control means so accessing the channel for sending the data. So that is also responsibility of the data link layer. See, whatever the points I am explaining here, so for everything there are set of protocols. So those protocols are going to take care of this responsibility. Okay, so what you need to remember here for data link layer, one is it is responsible for preparing the frames or moving the frames from node to node. Responsible for moving the frames from one node to another node. So this is nothing but hop to hop delivery of data. Then flow control, yesterday I was explaining about the flow control. Okay, so what is that flow control indicates? What is flow control? It is nothing but like when the sender is sending the data at high speed, okay, if receiver is very slow, so there is no flow control between sender and a receiver. So there will be loss of data when receiver is very slow in receiving the data. Whatever the data that is sent by the fast sender, so there may be possibility of some of the data may be lost. Okay, so for that once again there are set of protocol. So how flow can be controlled, how synchronization can be achieved. Okay, then error control, error detection and correction, access control. These are the main important responsibility of data link layer. And also we have one more important point, that is addressing. Okay, that is called physical addressing. Physical addressing. So what is this physical addressing? I will explain in a separate topic. Okay, so data link layer is responsible for physical addressing. So do you know about NIC, Network Interface Card? Anybody knows? So with the help of NIC, you will be able to connect to the internet. So on this If you want, you can just check it. It is there in all the system that is connected to the internet. If it is not there, then you will be unable to connect to the internet. On this network interface card, there will be a number assigned to this NIC. Okay, there is a number assigned or printed on this NIC. So that address we call it as a physical addressing. Okay, let me explain this physical addressing in detail later. Okay, this is hop-to-hop delivery. So next we'll move on to network layer. Okay, so we have discussed physical layer, data link layer, and the third one is network layer. So now, what is the main responsibility of when I use the term network layer? Immediately you should remember this point. That is, it is responsible for source to destination transmission of data. That means source to destination. Okay, so this is my source system, and this is my destination. So now network layer is responsible for sending the data from A to B. Okay, it is not going to worry about that. So A to B, it is taken care by the data link layer. So delivery of data from A to F, it is the responsibility of the network layer. You can just observe the diagram. So neatly they have represented between node, whatever the data that is transmitting. So that is called hop-to-hop delivery. It is function of data link layer. And transmission of data from source to the destination. That is the responsibility of the network layer. Clear? Then communication at the network layer is host to host. Okay, host to host means it is nothing but once again a source to our destination delivery of data. Okay, so whenever if it is host to host delivery, so in between there may be possibility of there are several routers from source to destination. Okay, router in the path is responsible for whatever the router we have seen in the previous diagram. So these routers are responsible for choosing, because in case consider if I have one more link from year to year. Okay, so among these, which is the best path? Okay, so that is decided by this router. It is going to decide so which path to select. You can just observe that pink color line, the thick line indicates. So this router is chosen this particular path to reach the F, because here there is no connection to D. Okay, the destination is F. So if I go in this route, it is not possible to reach the destination. Okay, so now this router should be intelligent to identify which is the best route to reach the destination. Okay, it is having even the address from B to C and to D, but here from here it may not possible to reach the destination F. So for that reason, it is taken this particular path to reach the destination, and that is the best path. Okay, so that is the responsibility of the router. Okay, so all the intermediate routers, it is going to perform the same operation. So the router in the path are responsible for choosing the best route from each packet. Okay, so best route to forward the packet. So network layer is responsible for routing the packet. Okay, so routing the packet means from one node to another node. To transfer that, it requires network layer. Okay, so moving data or packets from A to B, okay, then B to C, not C, B to E, then E to F. So this mechanism we call it as routing. Okay, so that is once again a responsibility of the network layer, routing mechanism. Okay, one is source to destination transmission of data or host to host delivery of data, and another responsibility is the intermediate routers are responsible for routing the packet through best route. Okay. And this is how the data is represented. You can just observe. We are focusing on network layer. Whatever the data it is coming to the network layer, it is from the transport layer. Okay, it will receive the data from, this is at the sender side. Okay, I'm talking about the sender side. So it is receiving the data from transport layer. It is in the form of frame. Okay, so now that is converted into packet. You can just see this is the data that is received from the transport layer. For this, network layer is going to add the header information. Okay, it is going to add the header information, that is source and destination address is added by the network layer. Okay, then it forms the packet. It forms the packet. So that packet is delivered to the network data link layer, the below layer. Okay, so now the reverse operation is going to happen at the receiver side. So the data are received from the data link layer. It is in the form of packet. Okay, and it will extract the header part and it will perform the required operation, and the data alone is transferred to the transport layer. So the data alone is transferred to the transport layer. Is it clear? So this is how the actual transmission of data takes place at network layer. And this is, I told, it is example of source to destination delivery. You can just observe the diagram. Okay, so you can just observe from A to F, whatever the data it is transmitted. Okay, so that is taken care by the network layer. It is going to, the network layer is responsible for delivering of the data from source to destination. That is, identifying of or reaching of the destination is taken care by the network layer. Okay, is it clear? Host to host or source to destination delivery, it is an important responsibility of the network layer. So now what are the protocols that is implemented at the network layer? Okay, so one important point you need to remember for network layer is, one is it is responsible for source to destination delivery. Destination delivery of data. Then routing. Okay, the intermediate routers are responsible for routing the data. So for this we have a different algorithms, routing algorithms. Maybe you are going to learn some of the algorithms in algorithm design and algorithm subject, what you are going to learn in the current semester. Okay, best route, how it is going to identify or shortest route. So all those algorithms can be used in the network layer to find the best route. Then logical addressing. Okay, so physical addressing at the data link layer, and logical addressing is taken care by the network layer. So what is logical address means? It is IP addressing. Okay, I will explain once again. This physical address, logical address, and also we have port address. So these addressing mechanism in the separate class. Okay, so just remember these are the main services that is given by the or assigned to the network layer. So TCP/IP model defines 5 protocols. Okay, here I've just listed what are the protocols that is supported at the network layer. Okay, one is IP, stands for Internetworking Protocol. Then we have ARP protocol called Address Resolution Protocol. Okay, this is mainly used for conversion of the address. Okay, so we'll discuss more about these protocols in a separate class. ARP, then ICMP. Then ICMP stands for Internet Message Protocol. Then it is having, that layer is having IGMP, Internet Group Message Protocol. Okay, so whatever the protocols I am specifying, it is with respect to the network layer. So we'll discuss in brief about these protocols. Okay, so IP, ARP, SCMP, IGMP. Okay. So what are these protocols? How it can be used? So IP is also responsible for routing packets from source to destination. Okay. So this is IP protocol is the main protocol used for reaching from source to the destination delivery of data. So it is connectionless. Okay. So what is connectionless and connection oriented? We are going to discuss in detail in the transport layer. Okay. So it is connectionless and unreliable. Connectionless means there is no like the exact link between, or the link is established between source and a destination. So whichever the path, if it is having different path to transfer the data to reach the destination, it will just take any of these paths to reach the destination. Okay, in case of connection oriented, always first it will establish the link between source and destination. Okay, and it will send the data. If it is connectionless, it is unreliable. That means whatever the data that is sent by the source may not reach the destination. Okay, there may be possibility of loss of packets when it is transmitting. Okay, so that is the characteristics of connectionless transmission. Connection oriented is reliable. Okay, for this we have a separate protocols. Let me discuss those things later. So connection oriented, it is reliable. Okay, whatever the data that is sent, it is sent successfully. Okay, it should be, in case if it is not received, so this destination will send the acknowledge to the source indicating it is not received the packet. Okay, so like that we have a different protocols at the network layer. Okay, so we'll discuss very important points with respect to IP protocol. So whatever the IP address you are using, okay, so I am talking about that. So IP defines format. Okay. So it is having its own format and structure the address. Okay, what is the address mechanism format used for IPv4? So how many bits are given for representing the source address? Okay, what are the other information is added to the, okay, so if it is source address, how many bits are used and what are the other extra fields are used. So there are so many other extra fields are added along with this formatting. So we'll discuss that later. Okay, just remember here format and structure of the address is taken care by the IP, Internet Networking Protocol, and responsible for routing the packet. Okay, responsible for routing the packet from source to destination. So connectionless means there is no connection set up between the sender and receiver. I told. Okay, so when I use the term connection less, okay, there is no connection is established first. Okay, so whatever the links are available, it will just take any of the links and it will just start transmitting the data. Okay, but in case of connection oriented, so first it is having some set of steps need to be followed in case of connection oriented. First it will establish the link. Okay, then this destination should send the acknowledgement indicating I am ready to receive. Then sender is going to start sending the data, something like this. This is called connection oriented, and this is like reliable transmission. What is unreliable protocol? So IP does not make any guarantee about delivery of data. Okay, so unreliable means, so it is not, IP is not going to guarantee that whatever the data it is sent by the sender, it reached 100% at the destination. Okay, there may be loss of some data. So it is not possible to ensure always the 100% of data is received at the destination without loss of any packets. So because of that, so it is called as unreliable, and it provides best effort delivery service. Best effort means IP is going to try to send the data 100% accurate. Okay, maximum. So this protocol is going to take care of sending the data without loss. So that mechanism is called as best effort delivery service. Best effort, IP is best effort. It is connectionless, it is an unreliable protocol, and also it provides best effort delivery service. Okay, don't think that unreliable means always there will be loss of data. Okay, due to some network problem, there may be possibility of loss of data, not always. Okay, so that is the reason it is called as best effort delivery service. So effort here, best effort means IP. IP does its best to get the packet its destination, but with no guarantee. That means there is no acknowledgement from the destination indicating it is received or not. Okay, so that mechanism is not there. You will be learning about all these things in the later part in detail. Okay, just remember here in brief. So IP does not provide following services. Okay, it's not required. When it is not providing, why to worry about that? Just leave that. So next I told about second protocol, ARP. Okay, so ARP is used to find the physical address. Okay, so it is used to find the physical address of the node when its internet address is known. What is internet address? Is nothing but it's a IP address. So here you need to understand the first chapter very thoroughly. So at network layer, you're going to represent the address called IP address, or we call it as logical address. Okay, at the data link layer, that means below layer, data link layer, we are going to represent the addressing mechanism using physical address. So physical address I told now itself, it is nothing but it is a NIC address, network interface address, or LAN card. Okay, there is a 48-bit address printed on the NIC. So that address. So now whenever the data is exchanged between the network layer and data link layer, okay, so that address should be converted. Okay, so in the network layer the address is logical address, so that has to be just converted to logical address, I mean physical address. So this conversion mechanism is taken care by the ARP protocol, address resolution protocol. Now ARP means address resolution protocol. Yes, address resolution protocol. Okay, so logical address means it is a unique address. So this is a unique address. So whatever, once if IP address is assigned, so in the network, each device will be having its own unique IP address. Okay. So because of this unique IP address, it can be universally or globally it can be identified. Your device can be identified with the help of IP address. Okay. So we'll discuss more about this address resolution protocol in the later chapters. Then ICMP, just in brief you remember. Okay, when you start explaining about network layer, just mention these protocols and remember one or two sentence of this particular protocol. ICMP, that is Internet Control Message Protocol. Okay, it is used to inform sender about datagram problem that occurs during transit. Okay, this is something like error messages, controlling the error information. Whenever it requires to send the error information, that is sent in the form of ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, to take care of the any errors or problems occurred in the internet, so that information can be exchanged using ICMP. Okay. Then IGMP, Internet Group Message Protocol. Okay, so it is used to send the same message to group of recipients. So this protocol is mainly used for sending the message to group of recipients. Okay, so you just remember the different protocols supported at the network layer is IP, Internet Protocol, Internet Networking Protocol, then ARP, then ICMP. So I have a diagram that tells each layer what are the protocols it is supported. Okay, so this is about the network layer. Any doubts within this? What are the responsibilities and what are the protocols? Any queries? Yes. Any queries? If not, I'll move to the next layer. Okay, so next layer is a transport layer. Okay, so transport layer, it is nothing but end-to-end delivery or process-to-process delivery of data. Okay, that is the main function of transport layer. End-to-end delivery or process-to-process delivery of data. And the logical connection at the transport layer is end-to-end. Okay, from source to destination. The transport layer at the source host gets message from the application layer, encapsulate it into transport layer protocol packet called segment. Okay, you can just observe. It is going to get the, actually this is from the OSI model I have taken. Okay, this is not session layer. According to TCP/IP, the transport layer is going to get the data from application layer. Okay, whatever the data that is received, these diagrams I have taken from the 4th edition textbook. Okay, so application layer, the transport layer is going to receive the data from application layer and it is going to convert that data. Okay, whatever the mail you want to send or the information you want to send in the form of text. So now that is divided into number of segments. Okay, so whatever the data it is there, it is divided into number of segments. You can just observe. So this is the complete data received from the application layer, and you can just observe at the transport layer, it is divided into a different segment. This is segment 1. Okay, data along with the header is added, data along with the header. So like that for all the segments, it is going to add the header information, and that each segment. Okay, see once again, if you want to go in detail here, so for each segment it is going to give the numbering, because when it receives at the destination, it should reassemble this data. Okay, so for that this segmentation number is very important. Okay, so when you start learning about the transport layer in detail, you will understand so how this segmentation is done and how these segments are reassembled back into the data. Okay, so for that there are a set of protocols segmenting the data. Okay, here whatever I told, H4 header, here once again there is a source and destination address plus this segment information is also added. Okay, and each segment is transferred to the network layer. The reverse operation takes place at the receiver side. The data is received, packet is received from the network layer. Okay, and it is going to extract the header part, perform the corresponding operation, and the data is sent back to the application layer. Okay, it will reassemble all these segments and it will deliver the data to the application layer. Okay, you can just observe this diagram. So this is called as process to process delivery. See, this diagram tells so much of information you need to understand. Okay, so if these devices are connected through network, okay, through internet, so I told the network layer is responsible for delivering the source to destination. Okay, the data delivery from source to destination, it is taken care by the network layer or host to host delivery of data. So what you can observe here is, so in the using IP address, it can just identify the device. Okay, it is just identify the device, the destination device, and the data comes to this device. So now in the system destination, there are so many processes. Okay, maybe by this time you know what is the meaning of process. There are so many applications are running. Okay, consider this person has sent the mail, Gmail. Okay, so this person has sent the Gmail. So now whatever the data that is sent through the mail, it is going to come to the destination. Till to reach destination, identifying destination, it is taken care by the network layer. So once it reaches the destination, so there are so many at the destination, there are so many processes are running, there are so many applications are running. To which application it is going to deliver? Is it going to deliver to some browser, okay, or some media, or some any what are the applications it is opened? So to which application it is going to deliver the data? Yes or no? So you will get a question. So which process it has to deliver? So that is taken care by the transport layer. Okay. So that is taken care by the transport layer. So that is responsible for process to process delivery. Then how transport layer is going to deliver the data to the process, the particular Gmail application. Okay. So that is taken care using addressing called port address. Okay. See, these are all new terms you need to remember. Port address. So port address means for each application there is a port number assigned. Okay, port number assigned. If you're browsing something HTTP, okay, so it is having its own port number 80. Then if it is FTP, file transfer protocol, it is having its own port number. Okay, for all the applications, it is having the port number. So now whenever the data reaches us the destination, it will check for which application. Okay, because that port number is added at the sender side. Once it receives at the destination, it will check what is the port number. Okay, to that particular application, it is going to deliver the data. Are you getting? See, it is not internet is not a very simple thing. Whatever I am explaining now, it is still brief. Okay, so if you want to understand thoroughly each layer, it will be like one chapter. So here just remember, don't go so much of detailed information as of now. So just remember, network layer is just identifying the system. Once the system is identified, there are so many process or applications are running. To which application the data should be delivered? So that is taken care by the transport layer. Okay, so that is the meaning of process to process delivery. Okay, how it is done? So using the port address, each application it is assigned with a port number. So by checking that port number, it is going to deliver the data to that particular process. Okay, so how it is identified, the host to host, how destination is identified using logical address or physical address. No, sorry, IP address. Okay, IP address. So if it is between hop to hop, you're going to use the physical address. So this is each layer, it is going to use a different addressing mechanism. So here, what are the protocols that comes at transport layer? So one is called TCP. Okay, TCP. At least just aware of these terms as of now. Aware of these terms. Transmission Control Protocol. Okay. So what is Transmission Control Protocol? So it is one of the protocol implemented at the transport layer. So what exactly the function of this TCP in brief I'll explain. It is a connection oriented. Okay. So connection oriented protocol. What is the meaning of connection oriented? So always whenever if it requires to send the data from source to destination, first first establish a logical connection. See, it is not when I use the term establish a connection from source to destination means not connecting through physical link directly. It is a logical connection. Logically, okay, it is going to exchange establish the connection by sending message. Okay, it is sending, that sender is going to tell that I am going to send the data. Are you ready? Okay, it will send the message to destination. Then destination, if it is ready to receive, maybe this destination is busy with some other node. Okay, if it is sending or receiving the data from some other node, so accordingly it is going to reply to the source. Okay, if it is ready to receive, if the sender is going to get the acknowledgement from the destination, then only the sender is going to send the data. Okay, till that it is not going to send the data. So that's why it is called as connection oriented. Once there is a connection, logical connection is established, then only so transmission of data takes place. So in that case, TCP, transmission control protocol, it is a connection oriented protocol. Okay, and what is the advantage of this connection oriented? It is reliable. Okay, whatever the data it is transmitting, it can ensure that all the data is delivered to the destination. Okay, it creates a logical pipe. So TCP connection oriented means, so it creates a logical pipe, that is nothing but the path to transfer the data. It creates a logical pipe between two TCPs transferring stream of bytes. Stream of bytes. TCP provides flow control. Okay, what is flow control? Now itself I told. So that is matching the sending data rate of the source with the receiving data rate of the destination host. Okay, in case if data rate of sender and receiver is different, so there will be a loss of data. So TCP will take care of this flow control. If there is a proper flow control, then only it will continue. Then error control. Okay, so guarantee that segments arrive at the destination without error. Okay, this is also going to take care of error control. And congestion control. Okay, if it is a complex network, where there are so many number of nodes are connected in the network, okay, if it is a complex network, so here what happens is, when you can just observe here, I have three nodes D, C, B. So if all the nodes started sending the data, okay, in the network, there may be possibility of congestion. Example, you can take the Hubbard signal, okay, so where it is connecting the different routes. So in the peak time, normally there will be a more congestion, there will be more traffic. The same thing it is going to happen in the network also. Okay, so due to congestion, what happens? Due to this congestion, what happens is it reduces loss of segment due to congestion in the network. So there will be a time given for that particular packet to reach the destination. Okay, within that time it has to go. Otherwise, that packet will be lost. Okay, that packet will be lost. Okay, for that there are different mechanism of implementing congestion control. So we'll be discussing that part later. So now you need to remember, so congestion control, error control, it is taken care by the TCP. Okay, so analogous to this TCP is, we have another protocol called UDP. Okay, so UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. So this is, what is the importance of this protocol is, it is connectionless. Okay, it is connectionless. That means there is no connection establishment takes place in UDP like in case of TCP. Okay, connectionless protocol that transmits user datagram, means user data, without first creating logical connection. It is not going to perform any establishment of connection, then get the reply from destination, then send the data. No. So once if sender is want to send the data, it will just transmit the data. Okay, whichever the path it is available in the network, it will take the path. Either some packets may go in this direction, some packets may go in this direction, and it reach the destination. Okay, So here there is no logical connection establishment. So when it is using this mechanism, okay, so connectionless, so there may be possibility this packet may not reach at the destination. Okay, there may be loss of data. There may be loss of data. So for that reason, UDP is unreliable. It cannot ensure 100% delivery of data. Okay, and UDP is simple protocol that does not support